Here's another tip for beginning knitters. Lifeline. If you look very closely, you can see a pink line through here. This is a lifeline that I put in already, and I'm going to show you how to use it after I show you how to install one. So lifeline, you're going to take a piece of scrap yarn and a big-eyed needle, and you're going to weave your line underneath your stitches, carefully trying not to catch or split your yarn. And you're going to use this lifeline if you were knitting and needed to go back to a point where you know everything was correct. So you're only going to install this knowing that you have the correct number of stitches, which I do. I have 15 stitches, and it's just in case you have to go back maybe 30 rows up, you didn't count and you increased several stitches or decreased several stitches. Anyway, you made a mess for yourself and you need to take your stitches out completely. You can't fix what you did without taking out your stitches. Well, if you've ever tried to pull out knit stitches and then get them back on your needle, it can make your hair fall out. It's stressful. So this is kind of a little safety net. So that's how you install one. You can see it there underneath, but we're not going to use this one that I installed. I'm going to pull that one right back out. So here's the scary part. You're pulling out your needles. Yikes. So normally if I didn't have a lifeline, I would have this flat on a table. I'd be pushing down really hard when I pull out my needles. And as I unravel it, I would be pushing very hard on the table and pulling out my needles. The harder you push, the better your loops are going to stay. And like I said, that could really be stressful. And you can undo more than what you really needed to. So with the lifeline, you're going to undo all the way back to it, just like it was your needle in there. Oops. I need that one. And then you're just going to go ahead and you're going to run your needles back through your loops, just like this. Now you're at a point where you know everything was correct. And this takes less than half the time of doing it the other way. And you're not twisting your stitches, you're not causing yourself more headache and more time. And the more I talk about it, why I don't use this more often, I don't know. But it is really handy to do. And again, you put it in when you know you have the correct number of stitches and everything below your lifeline is correct. That was so simple to get my stitches back on my needle. I know I'm correct now. And then I simply can just pull out this lifeline and move forward. Or I could have left it in and moved forward as well, which I probably should have done, because who knows, I might mess up another 30 rows. But it's a good practice to put one in. You can put them in, every 20 rows, however much you feel comfortable. Especially if you're new and you're scared that you're gonna have to pull stuff out. Just like I said, make sure that you have the correct number of stitches, everything is correct, and then weave in your lifeline. And like I said, now I'm ready to go ahead and continue on with my project. And that's it. The other thing, someone had mentioned on one of the other videos on a comment that my stitches are so nice and neat. I really suggest that you invest in good yarn. Even practice yarn. The better your yarn, the less fraying, the less splitting. It's just easier on you. This is a Murano wool, and I don't remember what it was mixed with. I know it's a Murano wool, Yeah, it's a little expensive, but honestly, it is worth it. When you make your projects, they just come out so much nicer, and it's just easier for you not to have all this fuzzy stuff going on and craziness. That's just a suggestion. I'm not a yarn snob, although I think I'm becoming one. I used to use craft yarn, and now I use only really good yarn. You're looking at anywhere from $15 to $20 a skein, but it's totally worth it. And you end up with a beautiful finished piece. That's it. Hope the Lifeline helps you.